Hey everybody, this is Chad Daniels, and you have landed in the middle of somewhere. Hello, how are you? Thank you for coming back. There are no producers in the room, so if you don't hear laughter, it's not that we're not being funny. Across from me, as always, is Cyrus Amundson.
Big moment for the several people who text me who hate the laughter. Now, I know there's a lot of people who love the laughter. There are some people who hate the laughter. So we give a little bit to everybody. A little bit for everyone.
You know, it's like we can't make everybody happy all the time.
Correct.
We like the laughter because it means we're on the right track.
And we're insecure.
Yeah.
Wildly insecure.
You think I want to sit at home wondering if you're laughing at my sweet-ass burn? Mm-hmm. I don't.
I hate that you called it a sweet-ass burn.
They're all sweet-ass burns.
It's just, what year is it?
I know. You know what? I got to tell you something. Mm-hmm. I've been real 80s lately. So, sweet-ass burn.
Okay,
that's one. Choice.
Hate that.
I think it's choice. And then pork you with my nards, I think is...
What level of the midlife crisis is this? Because you've clearly been in one for a couple of years.
This is like, I'm sick of trying to grab onto everything that's happening right now because there's too much. Mm-hmm. And because there's too much, I feel like I can't enjoy any of it. Mm-hmm. And so I'm going back to what I really appreciated
well, and I
in
think
my life.
The problem...
And pork you with my nards is one of them.
The problem with trying to identify your midlife crisis, it's not easily definable because, like, you grew up with dirt floors and you wanted a cabin, and so as your career started doing well, you bought yourself a little cabin.
Right.
Now, if that had waited a few years, I could have been like, midlife crisis. But, you know, you got that while your kids were still around.
Yeah, I don't think that's a midlife crisis.
No, I don't think it is. But I'm saying, like, it's really hard to really, because I think you are crisis-ing. But it's just
I've been crisising since my teens, though.
It's just not manifesting in the funny behaviors.
Yeah.
Do you think I will escape the midlife crisis because of the age at which I had my kid? Or because I'm already feeling... Because I think there's so much attention to you have a 1-year-old kid, but you're 40 years old.
Right.
You're like, well, I've got the next 20-ish years of like really intense parenting.
Yep.
And then do you think I have a really late life midlife crisis, or do you think I just become an insanely weird dad?
I think that it's just going to be one thing is going to happen. Mm-hmm. Like he's going to be in a musical, a third grade musical.
Sounds great.
And
Love
then
it.
someone's going to steal his line and he's going to start crying and you're going to want to do something and then you're like, I can't punch this guy. What if he punches me? And then that's going to send you
punch the kid?
No, God, no.
His dad.
The dad of the kid.
Oh yeah, you
the representative.
It's like a hockey dad fight, but in this case, a third grade musical.
It's like, remember in the olden days where they'd go, well, you can't beat up that old king. He's got to have someone fight in his stead.
God, I know so much less about history than you do.
Well, I think it's just from shows. I don't even know if it actually happened.
I think there's probably two paths for me in terms of midlife crisis. I think either day trader, a guy who decides he'd be good at trading stocks.
Okay, so
loses all our money.
Okay,
loses all our family's money. Or, and I've said this before, probably preparing for the end of the world.
Yeah, I think what's going to happen is, without you even knowing, you're going to lose your Oura ring and a babysitter, and that's going to set the world on fire. It's going to set the world on fire when you check your app and you're like, a period's coming. What does that mean?
The fact that we didn't have producers for that and everybody's like, why didn't that one get more love?
You're going to get texted like, it's funny. What the fuck's up with your producers?
Yeah, come on, man.
Honeycomb sucks.
Brother Greg.
Yeah.
Brother Greg was in New Mexico with his friend, Matt Tripp, real name.
Okay.
Matt Tripp.
Okay.
And they were hunting an oryx, which we've talked about on the show before, but for those of you who are new, Justin will put it on the screen. It looks like a Dr. Seuss deer.
Yeah.
Right? And so they were in New Mexico hunting orcs.
Like if you go to hunt an orc, you might get a nardy pork.
Yeah, okay.
Well,
and so
Dr. Seuss.
So they were down there and they were hunting, and I think they were near government land, like some sort of government facility. And you remember those the drones that were over New Jersey? Mm-hmm. And that was like a big news story, but really wasn't solved, where every member of like society, like government and all these agencies, like, it's not us. And then, but no one was like, but it is them. It just kind of happened and we stopped talking about it. Yeah. So Greg is down in New Mexico and his buddy sees a couple of these same-looking droids. They're drones.
Yeah.
I'm doing great. A, a couple of these same-colored drones.
These
up in
are
the sky.
not the drones you're looking for.
So then, Greg. First of all, Greg's really funny. So we have a nephew that's in the military.
Okay.
And Greg changes his own phone number in his phone to say it's that nephew, and then starts texting himself to show his friend, to freak his friend out about how it's some like scary government stuff. But then Greg he's got like, because they're hunting orcs and you shoot them from a long ways away, he's got these high-powered binoculars.
Okay.
And so he takes and he looks up in the sky at these two drones, and because of how powerful the binoculars are, he just sees hundreds that he couldn't see with his bare eyes. Right? And he's like, what the fuck? And so then they're driving home a couple days later, and they're driving through Nebraska now.
Okay.
And they see one up in front of their car. Same blinking lights, same everything. And they're following it for a while, or it's following, whatever. It's like, it's up in the sky. Eventually he pulls over, pulls the binocular out, just sees tons of them. But only that one is visible to the eyes. And then he's going to work last week, because Greg works night shift.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to work, and he looks over Lake Minnetonka, and he sees two of them, pulls the binoculars out. They're everywhere. So, like, he basically was like, go outside with a high-powered pair of binoculars anywhere in this country and look up, and you're probably going to see drones. And I have had several people do that, and he's right. Like, I'm not trying to be weird, or I don't know, like, I don't have an answer.
Sure.
But I'm telling you, if you're watching this podcast right now or listening to this podcast, if you go outside at night and you see anything that is blinking or weird, if you get some high-powered binoculars, you're probably going to see a shit ton of drones, because they're fucking everywhere.
And what do you think they're doing? And whose do you think they are?
I mean, I would say one of the things he said, he's like, well, they're probably trying to test how low they can get them until you go, oh, a human saw them. That's visible to the naked human eye. And I was like, but why? What is that? Because that doesn't help in war. They're not like, other countries aren't like, put the drone spotters in the field. I don't know why other countries sound like that. But so,
did someone get lost? Is this someone from 9/11 that moved to another country?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. It just like, I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's for war. I don't believe a bunch of drones. I don't think they're making like a drone dome where somebody shoots a missile and we're like, doink, and we bounce it out of here. Are they surveying? I don't know, but and I also don't think it's aliens, because here's what I'm going to tell you. If it's aliens, we're in a lot of trouble. They're already all over.
Well, I don't think they're aliens.
Just because you're a hater, but go ahead.
No. I think it's because they'd have cooler shit. We wouldn't know what they were.
That's fair. Yep.
And then also, do you think it's one day you're going to pop open RedTube and you're just going to see your neighbors having sex? Because it could be that. It could just be a commercial drone that's trying to get footage of somebody being a
they're all
dick.
like brazzers drones.
Yeah. It's Bang Bus, but in the sky.
I don't know. I would say, like, all jokes aside, it's not awesome.
Well, clearly on this podcast so far,
100%.
all jokes have been aside.
It's not great news. It doesn't seem like great news. The fact that you can just go outside, put on binoculars, and you're like, oh, there's fucking drones up there that I didn't know were up there. That can't be good news.
Plan.
Go ahead.
We get a gun.
Okay, love it
We
already.
shoot some drones out of the sky.
See what happens.
And then we wait to see who comes to yell at us.
Oh, I don't think we're getting yelled at. I think if we shoot drones out of the sky that we're not supposed to know are in the sky, I don't think we're, they're like, hey, knock it off. I think you're in a lot of trouble. Now, have I been watching a lot of Severance episodes in the last few days?
Mm-hmm.
And so my mind is in a very dystopian place, because I watched that right after I watched Paradise. And so I'm thinking in terms of the end of the world. And I have been binging Alien documentaries for 6 months now.
Yeah.
So I'm not in a great place to have this conversation.
Well, yeah, what the fuck, man? I mean, so first of all, I did it backwards. Have you finished Severance?
I'm not. I'm in second season of Severance. I'm almost done.
Okay, here's what happens.
Fuck the fuck off. It's the best show I've seen in a while, and I'm like, everybody's ahead of me. If somebody ruins it for me,
so we finished. We finished and started Paradise, the show that
which I haven't finished that either.
Briefly talked about.
I like to get into shows and then get halfway and just not do a great job of finishing them.
Oh, well, I know someone you could watch shows with. I like to sit down and finish a season in a sitting.
Okay, that's a lot.
It is, and it's probably why my clothes don't fit, but still.
By the way, pink sweater? What's going on? You must be feeling good today.
I'm not feeling good. I just a lot of my clothes aren't
Oh no! Was this the
clean.
ripcord sweater? Oh, it's clean. I thought you were gonna be like didn't fit anymore.
Oh
Like,
no,
you
no.
just open like in your closet. There's a door that's like the fat door, just in case things.
And it's just this one with 2 spotlights on it.
Yeah.
Just like, here you go, Chubbs. The tit knit.
Yeah, if you were using a tit knit, you couldn't go with pink. That's absolutely the wrong decision.
It's the color of my skin because it got burned a little bit, so I just look like it looks like I'm a nude and have wrist tattoos.
It looks like you're really because. Yeah, well, let's keep going.
I
don't think we need to do this.
My
I don't
nipples show through, and
I
I'm
was
well
just-
aware of that. But here's the thing. I could put a fucking lead vest for an X-ray over me, and you can see my nipples. It's crazy.
Yeah, why are your nipples so hard?
I don't, because I love life. Okay, I'm sorry.
But there's.
I got a lot of nice things going on. I'm in the middle of a midlife crisis,
Yeah.
but working it.
Yeah.
If you work it, it will work. It is worth it, whatever that saying is.
I just think you've hid your midlife crisis so healthily, or you've packaged it so
No,
healthily.
she comes out with me sometimes. She'll be at dinner tonight. By the way, she's not my midlife crisis. This is just something that happened.
Yeah, and I actually think that's true as well. But I do also think that inside you, here's the reason I think you're in midlife crisis is because I think it's impossible to be in midlife. I think it has to be so difficult to escape a midlife crisis if you had kids really young and then they're both out of the house. Because you're in your 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s in your situation, but you're in your 40s, 50s, and there's still so much like life, and like 40s is a very active age, and you've known your whole life has been your kids this whole time. Like I would say somebody whose kids leave the house in their early 40s, it would be very difficult to not have a midlife crisis. Of some like an identity, who the fuck am I moment.
I'm sure both
Unless
of
you
my
were
kids.
a shitty dad.
I'm sure both of my kids have been like, dude, what the fuck? Enough is enough. Let us have a little bit of a life. Like, you don't have to text me every day reminding me that you love. We know. And it's like, I've overcorrected.
Yeah, speaking of which, how's that? Your daughter's on spring break right now. How's that going?
She texted me when she got there, and she hasn't texted me since. And here's why. Because I told her, I go, you have to pay for your trip. And what's that? It's given her, she doesn't have to call me to be like, hey, can you put $50 in my account?
She doesn't owe you anything. It's her time.
I know. I need to stop doing that. I need to say, here's the deal. You have to contact me. I will put $50 in your account a day. But in the morning, every fucking morning, I need proof of life. I need you reading a newspaper from that day with your friends around you with a smile on your face, and I'm going to text you the number of fingers I want you to hold up. And I need proof of life. As soon as I receive proof of life, $50 goes into your account. It's like the weirdest, possible ransom situation where no one's been kidnapped.
I'm not trying to make this comparative at all. I'm just pointing out the reality of the situation. Isaac stayed close to home.
Yeah.
Isaac went to a small school to learn what he's learned and build the business he's building in the town he grew up in.
Right.
Olivia has gone across the world to go to a school somewhere else and go on all these different places. She's gone to Costa Rica. She's doing all these things. Yeah. Do you think... Is the difference between your two kids and how worried you are about them, how much of it is personality, how much of it is gender, how much of it is just what they are doing post? Because you could drive across the street and be like, there's Isaac. He's over there. I see him.
Yeah, but still, I still text him enough. I know the threshold now because I was, as the kids say, stacking blues.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Hate it.
It's a lot of unanswered messages, right?
Oh, stacking blues. Love it now.
Stacking blues.
Now that I understand it, I love it.
Where it's a bunch of messages that you've sent that don't get returned.
I'm first ballot Hall of Famer stacking blues.
Yeah, you're kind of a cunt.
That's not how I meant to. And this is the first moment I have really loved that the producers aren't here. That was really great to hear you say that and not hear Justin go, "Bah-ha-ha!" Really nice moment for me. It's a really good moment for me. So now we can just move on with the podcast, and I don't have to get reactionary and say something about your nipples. This is good.
Well, and then I don't have to sit here and wonder if everyone laughed listening at home because I know they did.
Do you think it's healthier for us to do a show without the producers?
No.
I think it's a worse show. but
Yeah,
I think it's
yeah.
probably healthier.
So I just want to make sure. So, I text Isaac, let him know that I care. Like, I talked about this before, but I remember one time Isaac was like, hey, something's going on at school. I would like a little tutelage, a little help.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, do you think you could come up in the next couple of weeks? And I was like, oh, I'm already 30 miles into the drive. I hit fucking jet engine on this bitch like Fast and the Furious.
Yeah.
I hit my tank and just fucking. So I'm always, always looking to help, but I'm sure sometimes they're like, hey, that's not what I meant by this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need you to help me. It's like, well, I don't have anyone to help anymore.
Dude, Ellie, my niece, had a baby. And yes, that's what we do on this show. We announce other people's babies.
That's right. And how long has it been?
It's less than a week.
Yeah, interesting.
We do it right away.
Uh-huh.
I do have her consent. So Madonna Scale, Ethan's sister.
Right.
And I'm trying to, because I'm not even, so I'm a great uncle, which I think is a fun thing to be at 40.
Yeah.
And I think I've said this before on the show. It's a boy. She had a boy.
Okay.
And I would love that boy to have a teen pregnancy. And then that boy or girl to have a teen pregnancy. So I get a shot at becoming a great uncle. I think that'd be a fun thing to introduce myself as. That'll be my shtick as an old man. Everybody else will hate it. I think it's going to be great.
We found his midlife crisis.
Absolutely.
This is what he wants. He wants to be a great uncle. There's no talk of his child having a child for him to become a grandparent. He doesn't care about any of that. He wants to be a great uncle.
I don't know what I'm going to do as Sunday ages because I am so desperately smothering my adult nephew and niece where when she was I talked to her the night her water broke and we were just chatting about names and some other stuff. And I went, hey, just a heads up. I'm not just an uncle. I'm immediate family. It's like, I want to know when he's born. I want to know his name. I was bullying my way and involve me.
Now, you're saying this for the listeners.
Yeah.
Because I already know this. Because
Yeah,
Ellie took screenshots of all this and sent them to me. She goes, can you please help him get a fucking grip?
Yeah,
and
stop stacking blues.
No, I can't help him get a grip. He's gripless.
I am gripless.
You're like a G.I. Joe guy with open palms. Karate chop open palms. There's no grip.
It is. He's the baby so great. So they did this thing.
Let's back it up here. Less than a week.
So great. He's so great. He's so great. I'm such a proud great uncle.
Alive?
Great uncle? I'm such a proud great uncle.
Yeah, let's not get cocky. Let's not get ahead of yourself.
So,
there needs to be a lot of teen fucking before you can expand into that.
Her husband Noah has what I would dub movie politician energy.
Okay.
So handsome.
Yep.
So kind. So when you see an actor, when an actor plays a politician, not an evil one, a good-hearted one on a TV show, you're like, well, that's an actor. They don't make him that's what that is his vibe.
Dave.
Yes. Yeah.
You know Dave?
Yeah. The fuck do I know Dave? Yes, I know Dave.
The movie Dave, I think, is incredible.
I think it's one of the best comedies of all time.
Kevin Kline plays a
Sigourney Weaver.
Yep. He plays two different people in the movie, and it is, in my opinion, fantastic.
Yeah. It's...
By the way, this Noah, let me hop in here for a second. Mm-hmm. I don't know Noah that well. I've met him.
Yep.
But you've told me a story about something he did, and I think he's just terrific. I think that guy has tremendous character.
And I think that is what you just did right there. Great radio.
Yeah. Well, we like to let people wonder what it could be.
Figure it out and guess.
Absolutely.
So his last name is Harker, by the way, which is a great last name for a baby. It really helps you. Our producer just walked in 30 minutes late. Gave me the finger. That's why I just did a side eye right here. Okay. He leaned in and didn't just give the, oh, hi, I'm here. He gave the middle finger. And there he and his mustache walks through
Hurry up and get back there because I called Cy a cunt earlier and could have used your laughter. There we go. Landed it.
He's in, anybody laughing at somebody else being called a cunt in fuchsia Crocs, fucking fire that guy into the sun. Shoot him into the sun. So, he's got a great last name. Yeah. Harker pairs with a lot. That's strong, right? It's not I've always Amundson is good. I think it's a good name.
It's fine.
Great.
Everybody mispronounces it.
Daniels is great.
Daniels is great because people know what they're getting into.
Yeah, Daniels is
is easy. When I'm talking to customer service on the other side of the planet, And I go, Daniels. And they go, Daniel. I go, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
No other way to spell that shit. When you say Amundson, they're like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's a great last name. So I got to meet him for the first time last night.
Okay.
Landed last night late.
Okay.
Got to meet him. Shout out to the flight attendant on Delta who took you know how sometimes they treat it like an open mic, like, hey,
Yeah.
everybody, we're going to put
Yes.
those seatbelts on because if you don't have them on, well, I don't think you want to know what's about to happen. Like, they're doing shtick. 2-hour flight from Cincinnati,
Yep.
8 or 9 different announcements. Like, did the snacks like that, made announcements I've never heard before. It's like, you need a fucking hobby and it better be improv. Because if I get you as a flight attendant again, I'm going to flip the door open and get us all sucked out.
Yep.
Now.
I'm going to tell you this. I've had to tell people up front, and they're like, they keep coming back on.
Mm-hmm.
They say a little bit of it, and then they take the thing off so your movie starts playing again. Because when they hit the button, it stops your movie.
Everything stops.
And then they scroll on their phone because they haven't memorized it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they hit the button again, and I'm like, yo, we got to do this all in one chunk.
Mm-hmm.
It's too much.
It sucks.
I had a guy come by. He was offering a lady a meal, and he goes, well, we have the chicken left. And she goes, is it any good? What's with it? And he goes, well, I just killed it 2 days ago. And she goes, nope. The lady did. Looked at him and goes, nope. That's okay.
Not interested in
Yeah.
your
And I just went, oh,
bullshit.
this is great.
Yeah.
I love sitting back and watching others do that stuff.
So I got in late.
Okay.
And I went to their house, and they had this thing. Somebody put, no shit, your height, like a
The
giant,
baby already?
a giant fucking.
Yeah.
What a whirlwind this is
Hitting
for
on all cylinders.
lovers and haters of
hitting on all
laughter
cylinders
right now. Out in the front yard, like when you pull in their driveway, there is a life-size wooden cutout of a stork.
Okay.
And the stork has a bundle hanging out of its beak. And in the bundle is obviously a baby, and then written on the bundle is the baby's name, the baby's date of birth, and its height and its weight. And come on.
My height, your weight?
No, come on. Like, why don't you just put its social security number on there? Should we say what room it's sleeping in?
Guess what?
Vulnerable family inside.
Guess what?
All follow the stork to where you can steal a baby while tired parents sleep. What are we doing?
Yeah, I'll tell you what we're doing. Right now, there's a guy named Steve Daniels that is now called Mr. Harker.
Yeah.
I can promise you that shit.
Do you think I should get to do skin to skin?
For the baby?
Yeah.
I don't think that's up to me. I think it's
I'm
up
just asking
to-
you, what do you think?
No.
Do you think skin to skin is exclusively parents?
For a long time, yeah.
Can I tell you that
I mean, hold on. You wouldn't tell people you had a baby on this show forever and ever.
But I told my niece.
And you think you have skin-to-skin rights less than a week in?
I'm not saying
I
I think I have the rights. I'm not
I have
saying
one
I
more
have the
question.
rights. I'm not saying I have the
and
rights.
I mean this across the board. This isn't just about this. This is about almost everything you say. Who the fuck do you think you are?
Yeah?
It is wild.
Yeah.
The length you take.
Uh-huh.
The length of rope you take.
Uh-huh. Well, it's because eventually I'm going to hang myself. Do I think it's appropriate? Do I think anyone beside the parent should do skin to skin? I don't.
Okay.
Right? I think it's kind of weird, but because my shoulders don't work quite right, so I couldn't hold the baby a lot. So when he was a brand newborn baby, when I had Sunday, when Jenna had Sunday, I got to do skin to skin, and I think it's the best moment of my entire life.
Oh, it's marvelous because your heart rate when you're calm, when the baby's on you, it transfers so your hearts sync up.
Yeah.
And beat at the same rhythm. And it's great to know like you have that
ability.
Well, yeah, with a baby is fucking incredible. Now, I know that you're not the mom or the dad of this baby.
Correct.
But I do have a screenshot saying that you're not only an uncle, you're immediate family.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I do know that.
I love that Justin didn't laugh at that because he wasn't here for the other part.
Yeah.
I just I loved that moment so much that I think I can project I think I can grasp at those feelings by skin to skinning other people's babies. And now that I say that out loud, I don't love the way it sounded. But
Skin to skinning other people's babies? Yeah, I can't believe you didn't like how that came out.
I think that thing, it was so we've talked about this when we had Sunday. I didn't have, you know how some people have I've never felt anything like this overjoyous moment.
Yeah.
I didn't have that. I was very happy. It was amazing. I loved it. But that biological, whatever happens in your brain, mine was like a slow burn, which I think was better for me.
Yeah, can I tell you something?
Yeah.
People that go, it was the greatest thing I've ever... They're so full of shit. I fucking save it, motherfucker. Your baby's ugly. It's purple. Your baby's disgusting. I don't want to see the fresh out of the body baby pics.
Mm-hmm.
And also, there's no way you felt this connect. The baby looks so weird. You go, oh, goddamn. What happened?
Did I tell you that when we went to name the baby, so we had this giant list of names, and people had told you, you'll see the baby and you'll know the name. And you're like, oh, yeah? Is that how it works? Fucking imbecile.
Yeah.
And so we had a bunch of, we're down to a few names. We cut all these other names out. And we didn't name him for a few days. And
let me say one thing. If you think that you think that you see the baby and you will know the name, then every person in this world would be named Placenta. There's just no way.
We both, Father of the Year, I slept at home while they were in the hospital.
Yeah, you did. Well, listen, there's not going to be a chair in the world that doesn't get a complaint.
Yeah, trust me, my wife was like, you're not going to sleep here, and I can't have you up all night. So why don't you get the fuck out of here and come back in 4 hours? How's that for a plan? And so...
You can stick it in me and sploo. You can pork me with your nards.
We're still on that.
But you can't sleep in a chair. Interesting. Selfish.
The first day, we looked at the baby.
Yeah.
I left. I went to bed. I came back. We looked at the baby. And I remember saying to her, I go, I know this is crazy, and this name isn't really on our list, but I have a name that I think of when I look at him. And she goes, I do too. Same name.
Whoa.
It was Leo.
Wow.
Yeah, but then one of Jenna's roommates was date raped by a guy named Leo, so we couldn't name him Leo. We couldn't name him Leo. Well, I'm just telling you what happened. We both thought of Leo, and then we were like, no, that's not great.
Well, here's what's interesting about Jenna looking at the baby, thinking the name Leo, is she already knew this.
Yeah.
And so she saw your child and thought, this child is going to date rape somebody.
Don't do that.
Well, what else is there to say?
How come?
What else is there to say? You just watched Blood Diamond. You just watched Blood Diamond, so you think Leo, and she thinks Leo because of this.
How come my thing, that was just a piece of factual information, Hay Bale's almost Harry carries himself in the booth, and yours, which is like an aggressive joke, he's like, oh, Chad. Silly little Chad with a funny... The fuck are we doing on this show anymore? Listen. Favoritism has become so anyway. So we didn't name him Leo.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. And although I'd have done a Leo in the middle, a little Sunday Leo.
What about? Well, that still doesn't work with Jenna's roommate. I mean, that doesn't.
It felt. The roommate's middle name wasn't Leo; it was his first name.
Now, listen. I hate to say this, but what if this... Leo...
I hate to say all this because I think Jenna will hear this story and she'll be like, I really wish you wouldn't have told that on the show. Oh, girl.
Well, what if you did name Sunday Leo, and then when he was old enough to have sex with consent, he would say things like, I'm going to pork you, I'm Leonard.
Come on. Now he's laughing at something that he doesn't even understand the reference point.
He gets it. You know what? I'm going to tell you something.
That's how much hero worship is.
It's not hero worship. It stands alone. It doesn't. You don't need it to be a callback.
It stands
alone. Pork you with your nards is funny anyway. Let's go to the coffee shop.
Like a pirate with polio is how alone that joke stands.
Oh, you're not going to like that on the listen back.
I know. Anyway, I would just really love to skin the baby.
You got to stop saying that.
I just would.
You can't. You have to. Here's what you need to do. You need to become a firefighter, but you don't have to go out on any of the calls. You don't do anything. What happens
Firefighters
is-
skin to skin people's babies?
I'm going to tell you something. Not yet. But here's the thing. These firefighters, they're upstairs. They're playing cards. They got the stogies, which probably is a fire hazard. And then someone comes and they say, well, listen, I don't want this baby. And so they leave it at the firehouse. And then they're like, well, what are we going to do with this fucking baby? We're playing cards. And then they go lay it on the creep. And you just lay there. You have nothing on but a pair of firefighter panties.
Just the helmet.
And boots and a helmet and rubber boots. And then they lay the baby on you and you just lay there.
My friend Eric's a very talented firefighter.
Okay.
And I think he's like some sort of chief. I don't know much about
Talented firefighter.
He's a very talented firefighter. You don't think it takes talent? Oh, interesting, Chad. Do you not think it takes talent to be a firefighter?
I think it takes time, but I've never heard it worded that way.
Oh, sure, but that offended you. That
No, it didn't
firefighter
offend
could
me.
be
It
talented.
didn't offend me. It confused me.
Thank God I didn't say a smart firefighter. You'd have fucking shot yourself in the face on
I
camera.
wouldn't have done that, but I would have looked right in the camera and said, there aren't any. That's why they're firefighters. They're brute strength. With one chief that can't do anything anymore, telling them where to fucking aim the hose. Now, I've never heard it described as talented.
Yeah.
I've heard described as like hardworking.
Sure. He's a very talented firefighter.
Okay.
And I understand, like, let's just move past the fact that you think detectives, police chiefs, firefighters, nurses, EMTs, all those people are talentless and they just fell into those professions because they didn't have a talent of their own. Let's establish that and let's keep moving.
Yep.
So-
There's a book of professions. It's called If You Can't Do Anything Else.
And
you open it up, and it's a lot of what you just said.
Okay, great.
A lot of it.
You just open the book up.
Teachers.
We're about
Let's not
to-
forget teachers.
Let me tell you something. We're about to lose an audience here, but you just open the book and it's just a picture of a realtor's sign. Can I tell you?
And then you turn the page and it's comedian.
I'm not, no. Don't soften that. Don't soften it for me. I don't want to be. There is no bigger dichotomy than between the realtors that I've used in my life that I like and how I feel about every other realtor to ever exist.
I know.
I just think, like, I don't know what.
And by the way, listeners, we know it's realtor. So we don't have to write in.
Chad hates the 9/11 responders.
I hate that they lost their funding.
So, I know what you're doing.
Well, don't bring it up. They just lost. They fucking cut their funding for healthcare.
Okay, well, is it still 9/11, Chad?
I don't think you're gonna like that on the listen back.
So, my friend Eric is a talented firefighter, and
You should see him like lassoing the hose. He's so
should.
talented.
You should. A couple of real bummers. Their station 0 Dalmatians,
Oh, suck it.
and I've learned why they don't have Dalmatians anymore. Apparently, he was firefight educating me because he's of high standing and he knows the history of the fire community.
And talented.
Very talented. Apparently, back in the day when all the fire carts were pulled by horses, as the horses were running up to the fire, they'd get like spooked because, they're horses near a fire.
Yeah.
And Dalmatians would run alongside them to be like, relax, horse. Everything's going to be like the Dalmatians calm the horse down. But that, to me, that's like, I like the idea that then what calms the Dalmatian, it's a real woman who ate the fly situation, just trying to get everybody calmed down. So he's a talented firefighter. They don't have a Dalmatian. And here's the bummer. I was like, because he's been a firefighter for a few years now, full time.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
With that talent.
And I was like, how many times do you slide down the pole a day? Like, don't you just do it every once in a
He
while?
probably slides down the pole with just the back of his knee pit upside down, no hands, because he's so talented.
What? They shut it down because some
pole?
guy like hurt his ankle going down it, and they're like, it's an injury risk, and we don't want to pay for people's they shut somebody got hurt fucking around on the pole, and they shut. Do you quit that day? Are you like, I don't have no Dalmatians, and I can't go down the fucking pole anymore?
Yeah.
Why, are you going to take my hose away next? Did the fire trucks no longer go, reew, reew, reew? Why am I here?
How am I supposed to get jacked up enough to run into a burning building when I don't slide my balls down metal for about 7 seconds first? I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
I don't understand. Like, that bugs the shit out of me. It's like, why are we changing the rules for the weak?
Yeah, PC culture.
You fucking went down the
PC
pole
culture,
and
brother.
sprained your ankle. Then guess what?
Go out in the ocean and die.
Guess what? Horse to the glue factory. Sorry, but maybe you go where we don't sprain ankles. Maybe you go to no ankle sprain. Maybe you go to the farm with the other people that sprain their ankles and the Dalmatians. You can go to the farm.
So yeah, I just think I should be able to skin that baby.
Oh God, I hate it so much. Do you think they're going to let you? Have you asked them?
No.
Okay. And are you going to
I think I
ask
brought
them?
it up as a joke last night.
And
And
they
just to test the room.
Did
You
they
know,
laugh
you're
it
like,
off
Wouldn't it be
weirdly?
crazy if you pegged me? Like, you know, like that's how you bring something like that up. And then they're like, yeah, gross. Or they're like, yeah, that would be weird. You're like, I know. Listen, well, I'll bring it up in 4 weeks again.
That's like the friend that goes, "Oh man, I mean, this would never happen, but would you help me hide a body?"
Yeah.
And you go, "I mean, I guess." And they go, "Thank God, it's in the trunk right now." You're like, "Oh fuck."
Did you see, and I refuse to let Justin and his little, I was just at a march energy into this conversation.
Yeah.
Because I'd just like to, I don't want to get into the depths of this because this is something that's at the height of our culture right now. And I don't want to talk about that.
Okay.
I just want to talk about the thing that I think is funny.
Okay.
So like a week ago, a little over maybe a week and a half ago, I saw a tweet that, Elon Musk, Daddy Elon, king of the universe.
Yep. And you do not want me to talk about politics, is that right?
Exalted ruler, Daddy Elon. I don't want to talk. We can talk about that. We don't think billionaires are like but I don't want to talk about politics. But so Daddy, exalted king of the universe, Daddy Elon, he dated somebody, and I know so little about anything, but he dated somebody, a human woman named Grimes. Justin, is that a musician? What is Grimes? Great. Justin confirmed that she is a musician. I don't know what she looks like, but I do know what her tweet looked like.
Okay.
And she put out a tweet that basically said, hey, some of these powerful guys like to get pegged, and there might be a video about that could get leaked. Just hypothetically.
I'd watch it immediately.
Just hypothetically. Yeah, well, me too. That's what I'm saying. Like, can you think of, and you can take Elon out of it and you can pick one of the other guys, Jeff Bezos, Marcus Zuckerberg, Mark Cuban. But I think because Elon is currently the exalted ruler of the universe, is there what do you think would happen if a video of him getting, let's say it's, because this is all allegedly, we don't need to get sued.
Right.
If a video came out of him just getting railed.
What would happen?
I mean, other than it would be the funniest thing in the history of the world.
There's a video of him hiling.
You think that's worse to some people than getting fucked in the ass by a dildo? I hate how aggressively I had to say that.
Yeah,
But,
here's what I think. I think
you can't be like, that's actually a Roman dildo. Like, that doesn't work the same way.
Can I tell you something? I think you're going to love that on the listen back. I think you're going to love that one, and that was great. No, it's a different angle. I think a lot of people would, that have wives and go to church, and they have to because Saturday night they drove over 1.5 hours from their hometown to get fucked by another man. I think that they're going to put up a real stink. Right?
Yeah.
They're going to look at their boys and be like, get out in the yard right now and play catch with a ball because we do sports in this family. This billionaire just got fucked and we are not about that. And then he shakes a little lube out of his butthole from the night before. I think there's a lot of that going on that we don't know about. And so I think there's going to be some pretend disdain.
Oh, I love a good pretend disdain.
It's one of my favorite things.
I love a good pretend disdain.
So... and I think there will be some people that are like, well, I didn't like him in the first place, but it doesn't mean that I'm going to change my values or whatever.
Sure.
I don't think it's going to do much.
But I'm saying, like, let me put it this way. Let me
Besi-
ask
I-
it
wait.
differently. Is it the most iconic's not the right word. Viral maybe isn't the right word, but there's every once in a while something comes along. There's all these, like the little boy who's on the dentist medication. You know, there's a bunch
Sure.
of viral videos. But then there's one.
Charlie bit my finger.
There's ones that come along that are so, like, everyone knows 2 girls, 1 cup.
Yeah.
Like, you just say it. I mean, it has permeated culture forever.
Right.
I think 50 years from now, that'll be a reference that people make.
Sad lemon.
I mean, is there ever a video that gets talked about because of where he's at right now and what he's doing in the position he's at and the visibility
On all
of
fours?
him?
That position?
Is there ever a video that gets more chatter, share, discussion, acclaim's not the right word, but we got to see how the director shot it?
Have you ever seen how the videos of somebody finds out that the person they're marrying is cheating? And
You mean
so
like on like Maury?
no. So they go all the way to the wedding. They do the wedding, and then at the wedding reception, they like, and we got you all a present. It's under your seat. And then they take the thing and it's an envelope and it's pictures of the bride or groom cheating.
What the fuck?
Yeah. I'm going to tell you something.
Are there videos of these?
I don't go down a
What?
lot of rabbit holes. But I could watch that for the rest of my life. If I'm going to tell you guys right now.
Are they on YouTube?
Yeah. If I'm ever a vegetable, I want you guys to put a TV, even if you go, do you think you could watch TV? Blink once. If I don't blink, fuck that shit. Do it anyways. Put a TV above me, and I want that nonstop. I want that, and then I want videos of women that don't ever wear heels getting drunk and walking out of a club. I also want that because that's one of the funniest things in the world.
Can I add 2 more videos to that, and then we'll narrow it down to just 2 or 3?
Well, wait a second.
This is your vegetable video reel? Like,
yeah, but I need to tell you something. All the girls that have done that with the high heels and sprained their ankles, why isn't there a rule about high heels then?
So
Well, I want to know that.
I
We shut down the coolest thing about being a firefighter?
Yeah, I don't understand it. I think you could throw in there videos of. Do you ever watch the guys who like? You know, remember the show where the guy was like, "Hey, who are you here to meet?" Yeah, well, I'm 14-year-old Lucy.
Oh,
and
yeah.
what was that show called?
To Catch a Predator.
To Catch a Predator. So now there are like rogue guys who do that on YouTube, who they just meet you in a parking lot. And they're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"You here to fuck a kid, David? Hey, David, were you here to see a little kid's butthole? Everybody is David. David likes to fuck kids."
Yep.
People coming out of KFC. Dude, those guys are heroes. It's so funny. So I could throw those in there, but let me. I spilled. You know what, Justin? You're not perfect.
It is a mess. It is a fucking mess.
Everything's gonna be fine.
You're
I'll
a
just pretend.
mess.
Let's just pretend it didn't happen.
No.
Just like
leave it in.
everything
Don't you
else
dare
in
cut this. Don't
just
you
like
dare cut this. I'll
everything
leave the show
else
if you cut this.
That happens off air in this show. Let's just pretend like it didn't happen. Let's. The other one that needs to be in there is the you remember in the old days of Maury where they would do the "You are the father, you're not the father," and then the guys would dance.
Yeah.
You're not. They're like, I could watch that same run of those just over and over and over.
Yeah. What I'd love to see are that new show of the guys that are To Catch a Predator, where it's on YouTube, and all of a sudden the doorbell rings, and then you just hear a voice go, "What are you doing here?" And you're like, "I am the baby that you wanted to have skin-to-skin contact with."
I know you too well. I saw it coming. Goodbye, everybody. Hey, if you guys like this, there will be a new episode next Monday and every single Monday at 8 a.m. So click the subscribe button so your phone sends it to you without having to do any work.